All right, good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. I am your host and pilot, Uncle B. Today, we are making our way to our final destination here in Indonesia, in Bandung. We're taking off from Jakarta. It says about an hour four. I think we're going to get there in about total flight time will be about 45 minutes, maybe even less. It's not a very far trip. Once we're in the air and we turn towards our lone VOR DME right down here, and then we need to be at about 4,500 feet once we reach this point, and then we're gonna line up for on our runway. There's no localizer or anything. So good morning, Joseph. So it's gonna be a pretty much a visual approach. I think we'll be fine with that. If I have to change the weather, I've got a few clouds for the weather right now, but otherwise it's going to be if I have to change it to clear, if this area here is too obscured by clouds once we're passing low to get ready to land, then we'll deal with that. But I think we'll be fine. So runway 7 right, where we landed yesterday, that's our takeoff runway. We're going to take off. We're going to climb out to about here, roughly, once we're off the ground. Probably right about there-ish. And then we're going to turn and we'll catch back up with our we'll get back on track as quickly as we can. And then we'll make our way, and by the time we get around here, I believe is when we'll go ahead and start descending to 4,500 feet. And then we'll call in. Once we're around about here, we'll call in for landing. We should be close enough. Good morning, Per. How are you? And then we should be good to go. So let me see if anybody is. I don't believe so. I don't think Uncle Mike is flying with us today. I didn't hear anything. So I didn't update the route. Hold on a second. Route. Here it is. All right. If anybody is going to fly and just wants to know the okay, so there's the route. So I'll wait for you, Per. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer them, or we'll try to make sure that you have all the same information. We don't want you going to over here to Batu Jar. I probably just butchered that name completely, and I apologize for anybody who's from Indonesia. Batuajar, maybe? Anyway. So yeah, very, very straightforward flight. Not a lot to it. So no, it should be fine. That's a short runway. Yes, that one's short. But we should have more than enough room. If we come in kind of low, if we're kind of flat coming over here as much as possible, although it seems like this building might be in the way, kind of. But we have to be on a heading of 108 is our final heading. Yeah, 108 degrees, 108 degrees is our final approach. So we're going to have to be kind of cognizant of the buildings, especially this one right here. So we will have to kind of keep an eye out for that and adjust accordingly. But if we can come in kind of flat, especially if we pass that building and try to be kind of low, and then it should be, as soon as we get over the runway and we're low enough, I'm going to cut the engines and then try to bleed off the speed as quickly as possible so that we don't run out of space on the runway there. Then we'll park it, we'll wrap things up, and then I will disappear for a couple weeks. take a little break. I'll be back on the 29th, so 12 days from today. I will be back. So it's not like a long break, not like a whole month or two, but just about 2 weeks or less than 2 weeks. I'll take a little break from streaming. There may, like I said the other day, there may be a surprise stream with the Concorde. It really depends. I have to kind of get disciplined because other people want me to play other games with them, and it can get very I get thrown off track. Basically, my what do you call it? My attention gets distracted from what I need to do with the Concorde and get practicing with that. So yeah, it's just a bit of a mess here. So, and I'm going to adjust the time. It says it's 10:14 a.m. Like I believe it's more like 20:14 p.m. local here, um, or 19:14 or something. Okay, you got it all. All right. So let me invite you to the group, Para. Oh, I don't see you online. Yeah, I don't see you online at all. So I can invite you to the group. Huh. I'm showing online. Yep. Okay. Well, let me spawn in on the runway here in a minute. And then we'll. Yeah, because so if you go, so like if I switch this to VUR to VUR, see now it's a little bit, it's showing an hour and 1 minute. But see, the problem is I want to add in this. There we go. Now it should be fine. There we go. For some reason it was showing under VFR, or just original VFR, the one up top, the direct GPS, but oops, that's not what I wanted to do. All right, is who? Okay, there's Para. All right, yeah. So runway. Yep, you got it. All right, let me spawn in now so we can get ready to go. I'm not going to add any fuel. I think we've got more than enough for the trip. I mean, it's a short trip. We're probably not going to burn a lot of fuel anyway. But I think we'll have more than enough to get there. So. Alright. Oh, this is... I guess the time is already set for me. Nice. So where is Para? I don't see Para now. Huh. Okay. Alright, let me go ahead and dial in 11770. Let me double check to make sure I got that frequency right. Nope, 11700. Why did I write 70? Well, I must have been tired when I put this stuff together. It's 11700 is the frequency for... I think I checked it. I think Para just spawned in over me. Wow, we're not even picking that one up yet. Okay. Let me turn 068. Heading already set for our runway. There we go. Perfect. Change my altimeter. And let me get my wind speed and everything, because I think it's changed since I 269 at 7, 269 7. All right, so yeah, I'm calculating about 34 minutes total for, especially for that, just that leg. Oh yeah, I was gonna, yeah, let me see if I can see you now, because before you weren't showing. There you are. All right. There we go. Perfect. All right, I think we have everything else set. Turn that on. I think all the lights are already on. All the lights we need are on. We'll wait a few more minutes just to make sure we're not missing anybody. I don't think anybody else is joining in. I didn't get a message from Uncle Mike. He may not be flying today with us. Yeah. So, yeah, we'll wait a few more minutes just to be on the safe side in case anybody is popping in last minute. It's interesting though, because the point for spawn in should be like right there, back there, where the, usually it's right where the numbers and all that are, right back there. So we may need to adjust that to the appropriate area. All right. So yeah, we're going to take off a bit. Once we take off, we're going to head out a bit on this heading, and then we're going to turn on our course heading of 151 or 131. I'm sorry. Well, I'm all over the place today. 131 is our next heading towards our VOR DME, and then it should be a fairly quick flight. It shouldn't take very long to do. So I think we'll be there in under an hour. I can't see a reason why we wouldn't be. All right. Wait a few more minutes and then we're going to get going. I don't see anybody else that I recognize, names I recognize, so. Let's flight at night, but land on the other side of the runway, so east instead of west. Okay. Well, that's not too bad. Well, yeah, as long as it's lit up. You could, in theory, do night flying, but yeah, otherwise it's, in theory, you're not supposed to under VFR unless it's, I guess there's like very specific rules, but I think it's supposed to be daylight, weather that you can actually see for an extended distance so that you can see any sort of obstructions but yeah, I think they would prefer you don't. I've done it before in the sim, but I think in the real world they prefer you don't fly at night. All right, I think we're another minute or so. It was at nighttime. Oh, okay. I was like, wait a minute, it was night in the sim. All right, I think. Ooh, see, this thing just wants to start rolling, and we don't even have any. I don't even have, like, it's like all the way back, and it's like it wants to go. Alright, I think we're going to get ready to go here in a moment, folks. Sound like it was like a truck. Oh, somebody's spawning in with a jetliner behind us. Terrific. Alright, well, alright, let's go. I'm gonna go ahead and go then. People are wanting to use the... Alright, let's go. We are en route. Yes, exactly. Usually, so the time to climb, from what I understand, it's supposed to be about a 2-minute. You're supposed to reach a certain altitude within a certain amount of time, and then you can basically start to navigate. I think that should be sufficient there. There we go. All right. 131. All right, turning. Ooh, why we're really speeding. Sorry. I just noticed that. Our chain come off our go-kart. Oh, that's not good, Joseph. You went left last night. Well, so what I usually do, and I call it homework, right? So whenever I'm planning these flights, I plan it in the sim, in the world map, and then I look and do the same thing on skyvector.com. You don't sign up for an account because it's not for simmers. Okay, if you just use it for free, you can plan your flights. You can it'll show you the what do you call it, the your heading and the amount of distance roughly that it will take you to get from one point to the other. It was all right, Joseph. It was all right. So that's what it will do. And so then you can look. What I do is I write down all the information. Right now, it won't give you like the departure runway, but based on that information. Oh, here we go with the ads. Based on that information, and I'll go, well, I'll wait till everybody's not watching ads and then. This thing, there must be, I know there's a little bit of mountains in the area. I'm surprised. And then you can guess, or well, not guess. I write down all the information, so like the departure airport and the arrival, and then I put in my nav points along the way, right? And then it'll give you a plan. It'll be somewhat similar to what you see in the sim, but otherwise it's otherwise you'd be guessing which way you would be heading, right? And you don't want to do that because then you'll be lost and all that. So that's why I try to provide all that information so that it when we do the flights, I already know, okay, when I take off, I have to turn left or right, or I go straight, or I just make a slight adjustment. A little bit breezy up here. But yeah, I use SkyVector for, at least for the flight planning for like our VOR to VOR flights. So that way I know, from, the different legs, how long each leg will be. And then you can also validate your what do you call it? Your other information, like your VOR stuff, your frequencies, and all that kind of stuff. So, but don't sign up for an account, because if they tell you to, if you're using it for simming purposes, they won't. So yeah, I just use the free version. And for America, usually they have like a chart of some kind, like the approach plate, or the you can look at the overall airport to get a sense of the layout. So when you come in, okay, when I come in from this direction, this is what I should see, and all that. So I feel like we're in a headwind here because we're continuing to climb. It's like the oh, there goes Para underneath me. I think we're in a headwind because the plane is still wanting to climb, even though I've kind of gotten off the throttles a bit here. So let's see, almost 8 minutes now, 8.5. We should pick up that signal pretty soon, but I kind of feel like it's going to be like yesterday, where we're going to only get it once we're fairly close, and then we're going to have to adjust our headings and everything to make sure we're on track and point in the right direction. I mean, we already are, but I think I'm going to go ahead and lean on the mixture just a bit. I find it very good for VFR planning if worried about weather and wind conditions. Yes. Yeah, it's a handy. Oh, see, now all of a sudden now the ads are going to start. Yeah, I will, Para. I'll send you the link here in a minute. Yeah, it's a pretty handy tool. I didn't know what it was at first, and then when I started tinkering around, I was almost going to sign up, and then when I read all the stuff, they're like, no, don't sign up for an account, otherwise you'll get in trouble if they find out you're using it for sim purposes. So, but yeah, it's a pretty handy tool. All right, those are all set. Ooh, I gotta turn the lights off. Oh, come on. It's on right now. Oh no, I do use SimBrief for some things, but mainly because I have it linked to my Navigraph. So there's some things that uh, for like international stuff, or when I'm coming in for an approach, I can I can look to see, because what I noticed is, I think Microsoft Flight Simulator is behind on the updates for all the navigation stuff. Like, it updates continually. So there's always new information, but I think they're behind because a lot of the stuff that I see in the sim is not always the same with what I see like on Navigraph. So, but yeah, the routes I just pick, or what I'm going to try to do is, if I put in, so like say I do an IFR flight from Jakarta to somewhere else, to Singapore, right? We're doing a business jet flight or something maybe. If it's an IFR flight, what I can do is in the in-sim, I can plug in whatever information, but the problem is, what I've seen, sometimes the information is not the same. Like the nav points, the fixed points, and all that are not always the same. Some already exist in the real world, but in the sim, it's like it's behind in the update, I think. I know they try to get updates out, but it's like I think they're a little bit behind. Maybe because of Sim Update 10, that was their main focus, and maybe with Sim Update 10 we'll get more newer navigation points or something. But yeah, it's a bit weird, but anyway. So yeah, let me do this. Always lose track of mine. Alright, there you go. Alright, I sent it to you, Para. We're turning a little bit too far off our course here, I think. So we want to try to squeeze through these mountains here. There's a bit of low area. I want to make sure we squeeze through the lowest part. So, head this way a little bit, and that should get us back on our magenta line. We'll look out here. Where is Para? Para is. Let's get a family photo without. any other. Well, it might be a bit hard to do because there's so many. There's a lot of people in the air today. Seems like. I'll just get that one right there. And then I'll get a self-portrait. So yeah, so this will conclude our journey that started on April 21st from Amsterdam. This is the old 1930s KLM route that went from Amsterdam to the former Dutch East Indies, now known as Indonesia. So yeah, it's been quite a journey. Like you, I'm based on Xbox. I use when using then transfer. Oh, okay. Ah. Then after all that, the sim crashes. Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't it? um, so yeah, it's been quite a journey. We've flown through some very amazing places, I think. Oh, there we go. We got our signal now. So we will turn back on our heading here shortly. I just want to make sure we try to get to the lowest part possible over this area. So yeah, it's been quite a trip that they did in real life. They did this in a week, this whole route. Although I added in stops along the way to break up the flight. I just couldn't do several hours or whatever of 6 ads. Oh, sorry. Yeah. See, it's weird. Some people get a few, some people get a lot. I never know. It's a Twitch thing. Like I have the ad stuff turned on, but I never know when people are going to get how many ads they're going to get. Some people say they've gotten like 9 in a row, but they're all like 30-second ads. Alright, so we've got our VOR signal. Alright, so yeah, we've been in the air for total flight time right now, 18 minutes. So let me have a look. Hello, Daniel. How are you, good sir? Nice to see you here. Alright, so if we're passing through here, alright, I see these mountain ranges here in front of us on my sky vector chart. So from here, once we pass through these mountains, right, we should see some water, a couple lakes on the other side, and then we're pretty much at the more than halfway there. So we'll go ahead and get ready to start descending here pretty soon, and hopefully we do not run into any mountains. I had a feeling this is what was going to happen. We were going to get a cloud right in the flight, that the path that we were going to go through these. Alright, I think we're okay. So there's that. Ooh boy, maybe not. Ooh, yikes. Alright, we got to turn a little bit. I got to try to skirt through right there. I'm just going to try to get through there, and then we'll turn back on our heading. Oops, sorry. Oh yeah, it's been amazing. Like but when I started to put it together and I was reading about the amount of time it took them to do it in real life, I'm like, no, that's just I could not sit through that much flying in one day. Like it would just be hours and hours, and it's just that's not healthy for me. Um, so yeah, it's just yeah. So I had to break it up into smaller chunks, and it ended up being 32 legs of flying. So um, we probably would have been here much sooner, but there was days I had to cancel because I had other things happening, and a or something happened like overnight. I just didn't get enough rest where I felt like I could do the flight that day and all that. So um, yeah, yeah. It's so we'll be back in the Junkers 52, 29th of August. We will start our journey around America. We're going to take off from JFK. Hello, Amela. We're going to take off from JFK and head to Reagan National. That would be our first leg, and then, but we're going to try to go from like bigger airports to like regional stuff. Try to fly some different places that we've not been at all. Um, I have a mouse available. One of the things that I'm going to do during my break, that will start today after we conclude this flight, is I want to spend time kind of understanding how it works, what I can do with it. Like I've tinkered around with it a little bit. You've got to be kidding me. Oh my, hold on a second. Really? Now they come out here at 7:47 in the morning to take care of that tree trunk. um Sorry, so if you hear yeah, it's going to be loud, unfortunately. I apologize, folks. Um, so one of the things I'm going to try to do during my break is to do the yeah. Of course, they decide to do it in the morning, not like later in the day or something. Anyways. I feel like I'm trying to talk, but I can't concentrate because of the. Anyway, I'm going to try to get practice with everything, the keyboard and the mouse during the break. That's what I'm trying to say. So. All right, there's our lakes, so I know roughly where we are now. So I got to start descending here. So we're going to get off the throttle, start descending, but we don't want to descend too much because we only need to be at 4,500 feet by the time we reach our VOR. And then we should be in good shape for our prepare for landing. So we've only been in the air about 21 and a half minutes, or flying in about 21 and a half minutes. So we're doing good on time. Okay, thanks, Para. Yeah, they just pulled up and then started working on that. So I really wish they would have waited till later in the day or something, This is what happens when you don't want to pay for a professional tree removal service that would have had it done in one day. Well, hopefully they're done. Nope. Of course not. Alright, so our VOR should be on the other side of this low hill here. I just had ham and cheese sandwich last night, Amela. Sorry. Alright, so yeah, our yeah, everything is on the other side. Our VOR is just on the other side of this low slope here. That area right there. It's just on the other side. So we're almost there. I'm gonna go ahead and start dropping some flap. Oops, I gotta get back to the chat so I don't miss anything. Let's see. Turn back a little bit to the right. Alright, so once we get a little bit closer to that slope off that mountain there, I want to call in and tell them we're coming in for landing, and then we'll be there. Now, unfortunately, it seems like, and I don't know I don't even know how to say it. It sounds like there's gonna be changes to next month for my trip. I don't know what those changes are yet. I've been asking for clarification, and I have not received it. So I won't know until maybe. Hopefully, I'll know this morning, and then I can post something in the Discord once I know. Or yeah, it's just never a dull moment. Let's see. I think we're close enough. We should be able to contact them, and yep, there they are, right there. Oh, right there. Look at that. Ta-da. All right. Well, we got our landing pattern already. I feel like we're a little bit low. According to that, it seems like we are. But there we are, folks. We're there. We're almost there. And of course, this thing's lagging behind. Never fails. At least we didn't get our areas not like completely covered in clouds, where it was going to be a bit more of a dangerous approach. Now, I flew out of here Saturday with Allison. I think I took off on runway 11, and then we departed and turned over on the other side here. There's a way out. I went to I can't remember the name of Joanna. It was something like that for part of the Amelia Earhart flight. And then they came back here. Like they had mechanical problems that they could not fix at Joanna, so they had to come back to here because this had more facilities that could get the repairs going on their aircraft. So tomorrow's the big to do. Sim Update 10 discussion on the Q&A session with Jorg and the folks from Asobo. Not sure how that's going to go. So it appears there's a lot of people on the Xbox side that do not know yet. For those who do not know, the Wasm fix that was supposed to be coming in next week's Sim Update 10 has been pushed to Sim Update 11. So if you were looking forward to that, your wait has been extended. There was not a large announcement about it in the weekly update, roadmap update last week. It was just a small little whine. If you didn't know to look for it. Oh yeah, I saw that, Amello. Hopefully that went well. I'm sure they were pretty pleased with themselves about TSW3 coming out here next month. I have to admit, the WSAM fix, little Jimmy Mac, basically, so like the DC6, when it was released, it did not work on the Xbox, and then they discovered it's a coding issue. So Jorg and the Microsoft folks have been trying to work on a fix to basically kind of open a bit of the closed garden that is the Xbox, because it's like a security thing, but they don't want to open it too much because they're worried about people being able to hack into the Xbox itself and everything. So Jorg initially said earlier this year that it was going to be about a year-long fix, and he said that's not acceptable to him. He'd prefer a much sooner. If they can do it sooner, they will, he said. But the problem is that I think that they've run into too many problems, so we don't know what that will impact. Like, in November we're supposed to get the anniversary edition with a bunch of free stuff. We don't know if it's going to impact that. I'm sure that's going to be a major part of the discussion tomorrow, hopefully, because I think if they don't discuss it and try to give people a clearer understanding of what's happening, that's just not going to look good for them, in all honesty. But yeah. But it wasn't like something that was announced in a major announcement. It was just kind of hidden, because I'm like, that just seemed rather a bit I wish they hadn't done it that way. Like they should have just been up front and said, look, this is what's happening. We know people have been waiting. And we're sorry, but it's just, we've run into more problems than we thought. And it was pretty darn good. Yeah, that's what I've heard. Some people are fairly, like, early on I heard a bit of kind of like grumbling, but it sounds like they've fixed a lot of the issues that people were reporting. So that's a good sign. I do appreciate that. And I thought about being a part of the beta, but it's, I wasn't too sure about it. So, there is Para right behind me? Para is well off the mark. Para, where are you going? You're not lining up for landing. Ooh, I'm climbing instead of. Yes, I'm really excited about that being a part of the sim permanently, instead of it just, a standalone thing. So I do like the look of the G1000 NXI though. It looks spectacular. I really enjoy that. Para is way off the mark here. Para, where are you going? Earth Para, come in Para. Yeah, I'm curious to see how that looks as well. All right, let me focus on the landing here, folks, and we'll get back to the chat in just a moment. And I'm worried about Para because it seems like he's going way off the mark here. I don't know what's happening, but he's not even lined up for approach. So, well, I thought they got this all done, but apparently not. Terrific. I really gotta get lower here. I feel like there's a crosswind even though there's not supposed to be one. I just feel like I'm going all over the place. Oh, of course, there's a tree right in the way that we gotta get over as well. Go figure. Alright, plane. Oh, that flickering. What in the world? Oh, that's not good. Alright, that should be sufficient enough. Alright. Now we gotta get slowed down like quickly here. Wow, look at the flickering. What is going on? That's not good. Alright, on behalf of myself and the entire flight crew, I'd like to welcome you to Bandung, Indonesia. Local time is 20:04 in the evening. Yeah, I would like to if I can. Oops, they're saying up there, okay. We understand and appreciate the fact that you're glad this whole trip is finally over. But we're glad that many of you flew along with us. I don't know where Para's going. Para is on his own agenda, apparently, right now. He's not talking in the chat. Unless he's coming in from the opposite direction. I don't know what his plans are. He's not saying anything. I thought he had the same information as I did, but apparently not. I don't know what happened. I'm good. Okay. All right, we're gonna go park over here. We'll wait to see if Para's gonna land one way or another. I'm like, where was he going? I thought you were having another issue there, Para, like yesterday. that they were telling you to go somewhere else. Yeah, a lot of flickering here. What is going on? It's not a good sign. Something's not right, that's for sure. Huh. Very strange. Oh, no, don't worry about it, Para. Come, you just follow me in. You're fine. We're fine. Don't worry about that. It's not like we can collide on the runway or anything. Just land when you're ready to land. If you're right behind me, just go ahead and do what you got to do. You know, it's fine. You don't have to worry about that. You ready to land, then land. If you feel like you can get there quicker than me and you're ready to go for it. Yeah, just be aware that you're gonna run out of runway. Don't get all the way on the brakes. You're gonna have to like just barely touch your brakes to start slowing down. Otherwise, you don't want to nose your aircraft over. So be careful with your brakes. But you're gonna come in a little bit fast. But try to, if you can dump off speed right away and still land, then you should be good to go. Where are they telling me to go here? Well, this flickering is just bugging the crap out of me. I don't get it. So yeah, we did this in just under 40 minutes, I believe. Oh, there's our parking spot right there. Okay. Well, I didn't think it went all the way back here, but cool. Well, we finally made it. Turn that off. We don't need that on now. Oof. There we are. All right, we'll wait for Para to land. Yeah, wow, look at the flickering. I don't know what's causing that. Usually the Southeast Asia server is fairly stable. I don't know if it's a server problem or if it's something else. I mean, I don't have any add-on for this airport to make it look better, so I don't know what. And of course, I unplugged my mic by accident. See, I don't know what's causing that. We'll wait for Para to land. Thank you for joining me, Para, for the last leg of this journey. I think we can go ahead and shut down the engines. We'll just pull the battery here once Para's parked up. There we go. So yeah, just mind that tree right at the edge of the runway there and you'll be fine. You kind of have to like dive down a little bit over it and then you should be good to go. Let's see if we can have a bird's eye view of his. There we go. Sorry about the flickering, folks. I don't know. There you go. You got it. There you go. Now just slow down a little bit at a time. All right, take care, Mello. Catch you later. Ooh, don't oversteer. Just touch the brakes a little bit. You'll slow down eventually. Oh, off into the grass he goes. Para. If you just want to taxi over by me, he should be fine. Well, that was quite an interesting exit from the runway. Uh-oh. Oh, don't tell me you just nosed over, Para. It looks like you just nosed over. Oh, Para. Para. All that, then you nose over at the end. You got to be careful with those brakes. It's like it's like the brakes on the Spitfire. If you hit them too hard, you're gonna nose over very easily. Oh, all right. Well, well, quite the ending to our journey. Yeah, you got to be careful on the brakes. You got to just tap them. You can't stand on them, otherwise, yeah, it's very easily you'll nose over. Well, that will do for today, folks. I do greatly appreciate. Oh, I got to turn off the battery. Almost forgot. So we can conclude the flight. Yeah, been quite the journey. Thank you all for flying along. Didn't no, you don't have to, Para. That's the thing. That's the thing. You don't have to hit anything. It's just the brakes. If you stand on the brakes, basically, the weight of the aircraft will the tail will go up, and you'll because all the weight's forward with all those three engines. So you'll just yeah, it won't take very long to do. Oh, great. Now I think I'm running. Hold on, let me run a quick ad and then we'll wrap things up. Yeah, the brakes are just a bit touchy. That's all. I don't use the keyboard for much other than just like my But yeah, if you hit the brakes too hard, or if it feels like, or if the sim thinks that you're doing them too hard, it will just nose your aircraft over if you're in a tail dragging plane. So, uh, well, I just use it's the A button. No, it's the X. X is the brakes. So I just X. Yeah, X is the brakes. So you just have to kind of like tap those and just keep tapping it. You just little like that. Because otherwise, yeah, because I learned that lesson the hard way with the Spitfire. If you try to stand on the brakes, it'll immediately they're very touchy. So anyway, well, that will do it for today, folks. I do appreciate everybody coming in and hanging out for today. Thank you again, Para, for flying along here on the last leg of this journey that started in Amsterdam. I will be back on the 29th, maybe sooner. Again, it depends on one. It depends on Sim Update 10. Hopefully, there's no issues. I'm gonna have to, yeah, Square on the PlayStation. Yeah, I believe so. So, yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen with Sim Update 10 and the Concorde. So I'm gonna try to do Friday. I'm gonna try to get a flight in on the Concorde nonstop from Heathrow to or JFK to Heathrow, but I won't be streaming it, so don't look for me. But I'm gonna try to do that, and then I'm gonna try to get a couple more in just to make sure. Well, I don't know, Per. I can't say for sure. I have no idea since I can't see what you were doing or anything. So, but it's okay. You made it either way. You still got the landings. So it just, uh, yeah, it's just, I don't really know how you have your setup and what you're using. So, but anyway, so otherwise I'll be back on the 29th. Again, I don't know. There's some changes for September, but I don't know what those changes are yet. So I really can't say much more about September. It's going to be kind of by ear at this point, unless I know something more here. Hopefully this morning. Hopefully. Anyway, do enjoy the rest of your Wednesday morning, afternoon, evening, early Thursday, depending on where you are in the world. I have been and always shall be your host and pilot, Uncle B. I'll see you in a couple weeks. Until then, peace, live long and prosper.